girl T. Now I want to go ahead and shout out Sasha Sapphire and Michelle Green. They were the first to send me this story. It's a really disturbing story that's coming out of my hometown, Charlotte, North Carolina. It's about a man named Jonathan Ferrell. He was 24 years old, and what happened is that this past Saturday he was driving and he ended up getting into a terrible car accident. The car was mangled. The only way for this man to even get out the car safely was to climb out the back window. So he climbed out the back window and he goes walking about half a mile to go look for help. And he ends up knocking, banging on this woman's door, and she goes to the door and she sees that it's not her husband. So she gets scared thinking that, you know, this big black man's at my door. It's the middle of the night. She calls the police. The police get there and they just seem to be extremely overzealous. They start shooting him with tasers, and then one of the police officers ends up shooting him with lethal force and killing this young man. I'm going to go ahead and play you guys a news clip right now, and then I will come back with the rest of my commentary.
Gunshots startle neighbors in the early morning hours of Saturday. Sounds of sirens follow minutes later.
I never see anything like this go down. I mean, this is a very good neighborhood. To hear that happen, I don't know, this is crazy.
Help can't get here fast enough. 24-year-old John Ferrell is dead, shot multiple times. Police say it all started after Ferrell wrecked his car on Reedy Creek Road. The four-door sedan so mangled, police suspect Ferrell had to climb out a back window. They believe he ran to the closest house for help. A woman hears banging on her door, believes it could be her husband.
To her surprise, it was an individual that she did not know or recognize. She immediately closed the door, hit her panic alarm, called 911.
3 officers arrived to find a man matching the description given by the woman to 911.
As the officers approach him just to determine if in fact he is the individual, what's going on, he just immediately takes off and runs toward a particular officer, and that officer attempted to retreat, but at the same time fired his weapon.
Tonight, friends and family of Ferrell's ask for privacy and prayers, taking to social media expressing shock and sadness, calling Ferrell a happy and goofy guy. Ferrell, a former football player at Florida A&M, remembered in this photo by a friend who says he's known Ferrell since the two were just kids.
Our heart go out to the Ferrell family, quite naturally, as well as the many members of the CMPD family. This is never something easy.
Okay, so you guys just watched the news clip, and as of today, it's been announced that the police officer that was involved in shooting him and killing this man, his name was Randall Kirk, and he's 24 years old as well. He's going to be charged with voluntary manslaughter. I just feel like this whole situation is just really, really sad and unfortunate. And once again, it's sparking a whole race debate online. Somebody even left this following comment on one of the blogs, and it kind of irritated me that people feel like because the media continues to show black people, especially black males, as being violent, that this excuses that behavior or that it makes it okay for people to be scared. Now, I put myself in that woman's place because I am a single woman and I am living in a home, and if somebody came to my door in the middle of the night, I don't care if they're black, white, or other, I'm not going to be quick to let them in. I would be scared too. So I understand her reason for calling the police, but the police should have, tried to figure out what was going on, because I feel like, for the man to have been in a serious car accident, most likely he was probably disoriented. He probably had a head injury. He probably just was not thinking straight. And so when they hit him with the taser, he's probably still running off of adrenaline, and that's why he didn't stop right away. Now, I will never understand why some police officers feel the need to automatically, reach for deadly force. It would have made more sense if all the police officers tasered him, if he had, 2 or 3 tasers on him. But why reach for a gun, especially when you don't know this man's situation? They had no proof that he was a robber. The woman just called and said that somebody was at her doorstep. She didn't know what was going on, but she didn't want to let him in. That's what they should have tried to find out first before grabbing their gun and then taking this young man's life. If this is what it means to protect and serve, then I don't want this type of police officer protecting and serving me or my neighborhood. I just find this just tragic. This was a young man. I believe he was a father. He was a football player at FAMU. A lot of people in Charlotte, North Carolina knew him. I have a few friends who were close with him as well. So this is just really, really tragic. And, it's just real tragic, and it's just unfortunate. It almost feels like at times like black people are just disposable. Like somebody can kill a black person, and then people make excuses and blame it on other black people's behavior. Like I had wrote on my Facebook page earlier, I said shout out to all the racists in 2013. I get so tired of the racist remarks and people think that it's just okay to be racist, homophobic, just all that stuff. I feel like at the end of the day, you have to get to know a person based on that individual. You can't you know, look at a news story or look at ratchet behavior on World Star Hip Hop or, you know, videos that people post on YouTube and then paint all black people with one brush. And I think that's unfortunately what's going on. You know, the same thing with the Trayvon Martin situation. The first thing George Zimmerman wanted to assume was that he was a criminal and he had no business being there, as opposed to he's probably going back to his father's house who lived in the community. You know, so the whole situation is very, very tragic. This man lost his life for absolutely no reason. Today, he should be literally celebrating that he walked away from a crash like that, and instead, he survives the crash only to be killed a few miles later. You know, I just find this whole situation tragic. So anyways, thank you ladies for sending me the story. You guys go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on the entire situation. Do you feel like the cop was justified, or do you feel like he was overzealous? And then how do you feel about the lady not letting him into the house? Because a lot of people are mad at her, but like I said, being a mother and being a young woman and being in my own home, I'm not letting anybody into my house that I don't know. I'd rather call the police and have the police deal with that situation. So let me know your thoughts. All right, deuces.